welcome back everyone, welcome back to another day, another season, another edition here of the Cranky Season 4, Group B, Week number 1. Of course, just have VIP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all to our second day of Week 1 of Crank Gathers. For those that maybe weren't here yesterday, an amazing broadcast of Team League action. This is a StarCraft Evolution Team League tournament. Basically, a bunch of teams were brought together, whether they were pre-constructed or some kind of haphazardly thrown together as well, to compete in a Team League featuring the mod StarCraft Evolution. The mod itself, of course, is a mod that does pit together Brood War versus SC2. Of course, is actively being worked upon, actively being updated, and yeah, it's always a blast here to indulge into, especially this tournament. We've seen a lot of amazing games so far, and I'm sure to see even more in today's broadcast as well. Let's go. Now, yesterday we were live with day 1 of the group stage. We were covering Group A, half of Group A. Today, we have the other half of Group B. Group B, of course, is going to be featuring 3 very different teams. Let's jump into it. Let us jump into it here as we switch our teams over and catch up on the matchup itself. Okay, here we go. So up first, we have Team Liquid versus Team Red, White, and Blue. Bam. There you go. So as you can see, we have Team Liquid on the left, we have Team Red, White, and Blue on the right. Team Freedom, baby. Yeah. So for those that are unaware, the format, of course, is going to be Pro League style format. What does that mean? That means that this is a best of 5, but it is constructed by a bunch of best of 1s, and the players are fielded ahead of time, or the lineups are revealed ahead of time, and players do have some time to prepare for their upcoming matches. As a result, we had Team Liquid. They did set the lineup for Clem in game 1, Elazer game 2, Cure game 3, and Elazer revived here in game 4. I say revived. So the way that it works here is that you can play with a team of 3 or a team more than 3, and you have to. The first 3 matches have to be unique players. The 4th match you can repeat. You don't have to. You can field a 4th player if you will, but you can repeat for match number 4. But if you repeat a player for match 4, you cannot send them out in the ace match if it goes that far. If it goes that far. So as a result, Elazer, he is picked to play again in game 4. If we go to the ace match, he cannot play in said ace match. Likewise, on the flip side of things, we had Blask being fielded here by Team Red, White, and Blue. Goblin, uThermal, Goblin again, and that does mean that if we go to the ace match, Goblin cannot be refielded. Let's go. Let's go, as we're getting ready here for our series again for this best of 5. I should also very quickly double check something, because Blask, even though he is typically a Protoss player, I believe he's switching to Zerg for our upcoming match. Oh boy. And of course, again, Team Freedom, we're coming out strong here. We're jumping into our TVZ. We're jumping into Clem versus Blask. Let's go. For today's broadcast, we do have 3 series, 3 Team League matches. We have Team Liquid, Team Red, White, and Blue. We also have a 3rd team Basilisk, also in Group B, and we have a CRHB as well. We'll get there. We will get there. CRHB, I would say, is the favorite team, actually, amongst all these teams. Better than Team Liquid, better than Basilisk. But we will get there. But now we jump into game number 1. Cool. Here we go. We're catching up. We get a prize at 250. Oh, no. One day, baby, one day. Exclamation mark merch in the chat. As we are jumping into our series and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Blackrock, we have the Blue Zerg play. We have the Brood War Zerg from the land of Croatia. Representing Team Red, White, and Blue, it is Blask. And spawning in the top right hand corner here of Blackrock, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, the SC2 Terran. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. So we are jumping into our fresh series here. Also, once again, a big shout out to Crank for hosting, organizing, and running the event, and also a big shout out to Tijik for sponsoring the event as well. So we get into our first matchup. So just making sure that we are good to go. Un momento. Beautiful. Here we go. Okay, so coming into this here, Clem, he's very I mean, he's the best Terran player in the world. True, he's the best Terran player in the world in SE2, but he's very inexperienced in StarCraft Evolution. Because of that, I do actually like that they fielded Clem first. I do feel like we gotta, you know, use your strengths here, and Clem is gonna be one of the players that thrives a lot more as the SE2 player. Bearing in mind we're gonna be alternating back and forth, I would say that Cure is gonna be the hidden ace player for Team Liquid, as he is, of course, that StarCraft 1, that Brood War specialist in StarCraft Evolution at least. And he'll be fielded in that kind of slot later on. Meanwhile, when it comes to Blask, he is a player that has been retired for many years. But recently, when I say recently, I mean this year, a couple of months ago, Blask returned. He returned to competitive play, at least in StarCraft Evolution. I think he played a little bit of 2v2s as well, or at least SE Evo 2v2. So he did return a little bit. And has been playing with Goblin, and I still don't really know where to place him in terms of skill. I haven't casted too much of Blask as of late, so I don't really know kind of where to place him, how to rate him. For the time being, it is going to be going for a hatch setup here, a hatch gas pool into macro hatchery. Link speed is on the way, and Blask is pulling out of gas. Is pulling out just fine for map control, scouting the right hand side, making sure everything is as it should be. Then he will be able to catch out the first lurking. Does catch one out. Behind this, we're going to be calming things down and settling in. Bearing in mind as well that for the SE2 side of things, we are starting with 12 workers for this mod. So it is the previous version and iteration of the SE2 races. True. It's the previous iteration. From here, we are going to be going a lair first at a Blask. And now with a fast lair here, we're leaning more towards Muta play. Now remember, Hydras are very common in DVT. I mean, just in Zerg in general in Brood War. But Hydra tech is based off of hatch tech. You do not need a lair for a Hydra den. So the fact that we're seeing a lair this early on, it does scream Muta play. I will say that for the Brood War races, for the most part, like their compositions and their tech pods are a little bit more limited here. So again, we're expecting Muta play. There's a world where maybe we can rush into something else crazy, but yeah, that's kind of our expectations. Meanwhile, Link's getting across the map, getting 1, 2, just one? One SCV. Okay, just one worker. Nice control by Clem. Does pull away, does minimize losses. And my apologies, I assumed that we were going to be rushing into the Spire, but no, we're going into a Hydra den and we're throwing down 2 dens actually. Now, what this reminds me of actually, what I'm thinking of there, because I was about to say, a little bit confused, but there we go, it does cancel the den. Are we rushing Lurker? Like, we could be going lair into a Lurker rush, which is a build that we saw like what, a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago from Su before he retired. Su, he was playing a little bit of StarCraft Evolution and he had a bunch of 2-base Lurker all-ins that he was embracing at the time. Curious if Blask has been inspired by that. Show us what you got. Yep, there it is. Lurkers. So 2-base Lurker out of Blask. It is very similar to, again, it's been over a year since we've seen Su bring it out, so I'm still a little bit fuzzy as to the details of the build itself. But it does seem quite similar. So rushing 2-base Lurker. So Overlord is going to be hunted down. And it's going to be on Clem to be active, to rotate, to look for a way in. As he's still trying to piece together what's going on. But with this rotation, we'll confirm lack of drones, lack of saturation. Again, the all-in is coming, and Clem does have something. He sees more links on the way. Back it up, we need bunkers. You can see we're evacuating the natural. We're setting up here on top of the ramp. Stim is done. Stim will finish. Here comes that all-in. No defensive bunkers. We can always lift the third. Oh, Army gets spotted. Army gets spotted. Scans the main base. Does see the Hydra den. The Lurker tech is not as obvious here because there's no Lurker den. And here we go. 5 Lurkers. 5 Lurkers are morphing in. Now we get the bunker on the way. But again, Clem, I guarantee you he's never played against this build before. I mean, this might just be straight up his first game playing StarCraft Evolution. And we'll see how he compares. Lurkers are moving in. Bearing in mind they do have less range, but they do get in. Ooh, they bypass the armor completely. Clem out of position. Yeah, completely out of position. Lurkers, they will zone away. Lings bust into the middle line as if he's going to be going down. Brutal damage. Ay, ay, ay. And Clem has to push into Lurkers to defend. It just completely zoned away with that Lings busting into the main base. Oh, we do rotate over. Catching the army. GG gets called, and Blask, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead for his team, for Team Red, White, and Blue. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Blask will take a lead in the series. Again, very cheeky build here, very cheeky game. And again, Clem, very inexperienced with StarCraft Evolution. He wasn't fully aware as to what was going on. He saw the Hydrogen, he scanned the main base. I said something earlier, and I want to emphasize that as well, that again, the Lurker tech upgrade is not as obvious as making and morphing a Lurker den. So seeing the upgrade there wasn't the biggest tell for at least Clem to recognize what exactly was going on. If he had seen the lair as well, that would have been a bigger tell, but he did not see the lair at the natural base. Didn't see the lair with that GG. GG, well played. My feeling Serral ults? I feel like Serral would play worse than Blask. What do you mean? What do you... To be a clown. But if you're unfamiliar with Blask, he was a player back in, I want to say 2014? He's a very old school player. Very, very old school. We were getting into it earlier, but a very old school player, and he only recently returned from retirement. Double checking. When was he active? Sorry, I say 2014, 2018. My apologies, my apologies. So Blask, again, he's a very old school player. I mean, I say very old school. I guess relatively recent, like modern, like 2018 is pretty recent in the grand scheme of things. Like it's so one of the more like modernish players, like pre-COVID was when he was active. And only recently returned. Not on Basilisk. Basilisk they're playing later. You can see the teams. You can see the teams here. Team Liquid versus Team Red, White, and Blue. Basilisk they will be playing later. They play later. But let's go with that. GG well played. Blask does kick things off with a win. Clem is now out, and now we're jumping to game number 2. Going to be loading into Polopoid. Let's go. Let us go. As we're going to be jumping into our ZVP. Roles have been reversed, and we do have Elazer versus Goblin. Let's go. There we go. Really, Serral's a Blask ult. True, true. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Polopoid, we have the Blue Protoss player. We have the Croatian Protoss representing Team Red, White, and Blue. His team leading the series so far. We'll see if we can keep it going. It is Goblin. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. The Polish Zerg player himself. The Red Zerg, the SE, the Brood War Zerg. It is Elazer for Team Liquid. Here we go. Oh. We do have the 12 worker start here for our workers. For lasers, it does go hatch first. Not familiar with the flags. Would Serral qualify under the flag? No. The Finnish flag does not have red, so nah. He's got the white and blue. Doesn't have the red. So Serral, he would be ineligible for this team. True, true. As welcome to Polopoid. Polopoid, of course, we do have a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, bottom right, and bottom left as well. So 4 possible spawn locations, and we're looking for each other. We're looking for each other here. The probe is now coming in. Now, I'm excited for Goblin. Goblin, he was a beast in the qualifiers, and he almost all-killed Team Old Men. The Old Men didn't stand a chance against the Zoomer Goblin, baby. True, true. I mean, they did. Like, Goblin barely didn't all-kill them. But I was very, very impressed, and Goblin, he probably had like the game of the tournament. Like it was crazy. Like his game 1 match point against Cyan was insane. So definitely a lot to live up to. Goblin, he's proven himself to be, you know, a competitive and a strong player in his own right. One to take seriously, one that does pose a threat, and we'll see how Elazer will compare. Now, Elazer, unlike Clem, is much more experienced in StarCraft Evolution. There's a reason why he's playing the Brood War Zerg race here. who's been fielded in the Brood War Zerg or in the Brood War slots. He has a little more experience. He has been playing a little more. I want to say Elazer played in the most recent SEL Masters. Was it the Masters or the Ladder Invitational? He played in one of them, like one of the more recent SEL events. Elazer did compete in, so he has been more active as of late. I would still say that Elazer is. Do I say he's in the middle of the pack? Like, based on the performances that I've seen from Elazer, he's still, you know, behind Shin, he's still behind Solar in StarCraft Evolution, but he's up there. He is up there, and I'm curious to see how he compares to Goblin and what builds he brings to the table as well. I think always the fun thing about newer players kind of embracing StarCraft Evolution is kind of their take on things and what kind of builds they come up with, if at all, whether they follow the meta or if they try to be a little bit more exploratory themselves. Up first, we do see the faster Hydrogen, but there's no fast lair. Remember, it was a lair-based lurker all-in last game from Blask, very Su-esque, if you will, but here at Elazer, he's not rushing lair, he's just playing more standard, playing Ling Hydra. He's playing Ling Hydra. Go. So good. From here, we're getting to our Hydra upgrades. Likewise, Outlegs on the way. Interesting, as Goblin is going for an early charge build, not to blink. So a bit of a gateway explosion, getting to 4 gateways, into charge. Interesting. So from here, we are building up. Going for a delayed third expansion, bear that in mind. So later third base here for Goblin. Is not going for an all-in. Forge is on the way for +1. So it looks like Goblin is just going for a relatively safe start, kind of exploring his options as he builds up into a third base. Likewise, the Elazer going for a later third base as well. Now rushing into his own lair. Elazer has to break out. And we'll break free. From here we'll break free. Claiming his fourth base on par with the claiming his third base on par with the third base of Goblin. Again, later expansion, later setup, just much safer play here from Elazer, which is kind of what he was known for back in the day. Known for being a little bit greedier, a little more macro oriented, not really an aggressive player much at all. See that trend continues as Goblin does poke out. He does split the third, and can he force a cancel? Ooh, it's gonna be close. Does pull away. It does pull away, trying to engage with the Hydras. So fine, nice kiting, and Goblin backs off. From here he backs off, he retreats behind this, going for his own Temple Archives and the Archons and the Storm. So we will tech up. The only positive from the patch on live is that people realize they don't need instant third bases in Evo because they use the slower mine outs. Yeah, we'll see if that trend continues. Like last game, Clem did go for a fast third. Like he went for a third CC before starport, like standard build. And obviously he died to an all-in, but that was due to scatting more than anything. But we'll see if that trend continues. Or I guess as Avix has mentioned, like it's just something more that's maybe becoming more acceptable. Maybe. As an option. So far, legs do bust in, they do catch out the first Zealots. I mean, decent trades here from Elazer, as we do see Goblin racing back home, and Elazer commits across the map. No drones. Speaking of 2-base all-in, no drones, no saturation, just straight up 2-base all-in here from Elazer. He is rushing lurkers. It's not the same build that we saw at a Blask. It's his own twist, his own kind of iteration of this, but Goblin's getting caught out. He's getting caught out. Ling Hydra starts stepping forward, diving on top of the Zealots. Archon's still on the way, and it's not going to be done in time. Yeah, it's not going to be done in time here at Elazer. He will snowball out of control. He breaks through the Zealots, pushing into the third base, and there is no defense here. The early charge build from Goblin didn't really achieve anything, and defensively, Zealots are awful. Like, Zealots, they do not do well defensively here. They're not very efficient units. They get overwhelmed, and with that, Elazer will break the third base, will shut it down. Again, that makes more sense as to why the third was so delayed, as we never intended to drone or saturate or get into an economy. We just all in, we just all in. Yeah, Storm is done, but there's only High Templar, there's only Storms, the wall is going to go down. More lurkers morphing in. And with that laser, he will break through. You know, break through the main army, pushing into the natural. Okay, we have what, 3 storms left. We have our 3 storms. Oh my god. And GG gets called with that laser. He does tie up the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. Again, Elazer going for a very potent all-in. Unfortunately, Goblin, he was unable to really confirm what was going on. This is also partially the downside of going for something like a Twilight Council charge-based build, is your scouting and vision is very limited, right? There's no Oracle, there's no Revelation, there's no dipping into the mineral lines, you're not checking third-base timings or saturation or tech or the army moving out across the map. Very, very limited vision there from Goblin, very limited awareness. That's what was going on. GG all played with that core with his pants down, baby. And we'll see if the all-ins continue here as we're getting into game number 3. Here we're going to have an interesting back and forth. Up next is going to be a TVT, I believe, between uThermal and Cure. Now, I'd assumed that we were going to be holding off and holding on to Cure for a Brood War match, but the answer is no. We're going to be fielding him as an SC2 Terran instead. Interesting. As spawning in the right-hand corner of Washouts, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the blue Terran from the Netherlands representing Team Red, White, and Blue. It is uThermal. Let's go. Let us go as we are getting into our we're getting into our third game. We're getting to game number 3 here, and we'll see how our patch abuser can abuse this patch. Let's go. As I'm familiar with, uThermal, he does enjoy StarCraft Evolution quite heavily, but from my understanding, he doesn't really play much of it. Like, I haven't really seen uThermal explore too much SE Evo builds in recent months, if not even recent year. Of course, uThermal's been busy with other things, right? He's been busy with 2v2, with the 2v2 League and the 2v2 Circuit, of course, so other things have been taking up his time. I'm curious if uThermal's been cooking something up here in regards to openers, builds, playstyles. Personally, I used to really love TVT and StarCraft Evolution, but that was back when the Ghost was a little bit more prevalent. I'm seeing that like bio tank dynamic with lockdowns as well. You know, the heyday of TVT for StarCraft Evo. Nowadays, I don't know if we'll get to that stage. We'll see. For now, economic opener, ranks expand. We'll keep an eye on the additional ranks. I still remember early SE Evo days casting with Yaku and getting hyped for the Ghost and hyped for lockdown versus tank and things of that nature. Like, crazy. Now though, we have our 1-1. So we're going to be opening up. Relatively standard openers, and we shouldn't really see too much deviation. Oh, never mind. We shouldn't really see too much deviation. The SV does get caught out. And we are expecting biotank setups. I will see if uThermal will just go straight into mech. Whether we could just straight mech it up instead. For now, we have our 1-1-1. And we'll see how this all comes together for uThermal. We'll see. If it does break in. We've been seeing a lot of Wraith play in recent TVTs, referring to like the Percival matches yesterday with Percival and Ryung and Maru. And yeah, speaking of double starport, mass Wraith, so that might just be the meta here for TVT. Like, I don't blame him. Like, the Wraith play was looking very intense. It's looking very intense previously. Yeah, we're going for the control tower, into cloak, into mass Wraith, baby. Let's go. Now, we have seen SE2 Terrans struggle against this, obviously because of the immobility of Vikings. You do need the foresight, and you do need the attention to be able to react in time, pull away, and try to counter the cloak of the Wraith. but it feels, to me at least, it feels like the SE2 response has been very unrefined. Like you can argue like getting a Raven just to counteract said cloak, just so you have a better way to respond, or just of course being a little bit safer with the placement of your Vikings to make sure you don't get pounced upon with turrets, or having that ground marine or cyclone support always with said Vikings, just because we saw so much value gained from those wraiths yesterday. Like time and time again, they were poking in with cloak, sniping 1 or 2 Vikings, then pulling away before the SE2 player could react. Like there's just a lot of micro potential with the Wraith. A lot of micro potential. And I'm curious if Kira was watching those games. I'm curious if he was watching, if he was attentive. So here we go, we have our Mass Wraith. I guess talking a little bit more fundamentally about this, TVT has always been about air control. It's always about air control with Vikings, with Liberators. But in StarCraft Evolution, instead of the Viking, we have the Wraith. And the Wraith has less range than the Viking, but is much more mobile, has cloak, and of course is faster as well. So because of that, we have been seeing a lot of Mass Wraith against Viking setups, where you activate cloak, you hide your Wraiths, you catch an unsuspecting army, and then you pick off a couple of key units, then you pull away, and kind of like you dance back and forth, and you try to pull your opponent apart. Has been the go-to. Meanwhile, Cure, he is going to be opening up Raven into Cyclone, but alas, the army's not quite in position. SCV's going to be going down. We can one-shot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SCVs. Oh, 4. So 4 SCVs going to be going down. Thermal does respect the army. But again, we built up to 6 Wraiths. Zone, just get the lock on. And again, we'll see how Cure reacts, whether we go for like a double stop or Viking setup. Oh, Cyclone takes a lot of hits. We'll get 1 Wraith. Does get 1. Nice control here by Cure. Behind this, we are going to be making it up, so Mass Wraith into Vulture production, into Spider Mines. There's a reactored starport. Getting ready for Vikings. But we are committing to a ground bio composition. Still more Marines. Kira's building up. Likewise, we're still not stopping Wraiths. Getting us to 8, soon to be 10. Soon to be 10 Wraiths. Just setting up on the right hand side. Spider-Man's have researched. We're trying to set up those mines. Race into the main. No turrets. No safety turrets. Well, we do have some Cyclones in position. Gets a lock on. Despite that, can 2-shot. Oh my god. Wow. 2 shots of Cyclones. Gets 1, gets 2. Takes down all 3. Out of range of the auto turrets, and now the Raven's going down. Massive pickoffs here. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal loss of the Raven. He does pull away. Cyclones, they still do full, one after the other. Yeah, they still get 2 shots. Auto turrets do punish this time. Okay. Do punish the Ravens. Also, they punish the Wraiths. Ravens try to hold the zone, and with that, there's only 4 Wraiths left. Cure holds. It was a messy defense, did cost him a bunch of Cyclones, but does hold on. Bearing in mind that Cyclones, they were built to die. Like, we're not really going to mass Cyclone or anything like that. It is bio still. But that means they're having a hard time keeping up. Oh! Ooh! Raven barely survives. Barely does pull away. Whew. And again, Cure does hold. I think what's important most here is that he didn't really lose many SCVs. Like, the worker count, the economy is still looking quite healthy for Cure. Still healthy. It's also interesting that Cure is going for a different response. Yesterday, when it comes to the TVTs, we saw a lot of mass Viking response here to Wraiths, but here Cure, he's still, in the face of mass Wraith, he's still committing to mass Bio and using a starport for medevacs, not for Vikings. here, trying to keep up the mobility here of uThermal. Back at home, uThermal, he's only just now starting tank production, so this bio army still has a little potential to overwhelm and get across the map. 1-1 is that done. Vultures, they bypass the main army, getting top of the ramp. Spider-Man's the setup. Uh-oh. There's detection. Yeah, Spider-Man's dealt with. You see uThermal just trying to buy time. Going around in circles, pulling away. He needs time for his tanks. They're coming. We don't need those tanks. Vultures, they coming from behind. Tank is set up. Oof. Vultures going down. Main army pushes. And where's that Raven? Uh-oh. Oh! He should be fine. Yeah, he should be fine. Oh, my Jesus. Yeah, the attack rate is going to be good enough. Army stems in. There's only one tank. Yeah, only one tank. GG gets called. Not enough tanks in time. And Cure, he will get a lead in the series for Team Liquid. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, we were trying to emphasize how important it was, how prevalent it was for uThermal to try to buy time for his tanks. He only had the one tank. Again, he had a very, very vulnerable army back at home. Very minuscule army. He had one tank, a couple of vultures. GG. GG, well played. Marines, they got across the map. This mass wraith style is heavily prevalent and heavily reliant on you gaining map control and containing your opponent. Failed to contain. GG, well played. With that, Team Liquid, they take a 2-1 lead in the series, and now we're jumping to game number 4. Up next, Elazer versus Goblin. We're on match point, loading into match point. Ah, it's beautiful, Pappy, it's beautiful. Let's go. Loading into match point here, into our ZVP. Let us go. And again, Cure with his eye on the prize there. Again, Cure just being very understanding as to what Mass Wraith means, in the sense that, of course, your army is going to be much more vulnerable, much smaller when it comes to your ground forces, I mean. So despite the losses, despite losing Ravens, despite losing Cyclones, despite losing some SCVs, he was just building up his Marines, waiting for his 1-1 and Stim, of course, to finish, and then push across the map. Just send it. Now here we go, we're getting into game number 4 and spawning in the right-hand corner of match point. We have the Brood War Zerg player. Oh, it's a rematch. True, it's a yeah, the Brood War Zerg. We have the Polish Zerg. For Team Liquid, it is Elazer. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss, the SC2 Protoss. For Team Red, White, and Blue, it is Goblin. For Team Freedom, baby, yeah. Freedom. I just realized I was using the wrong team logo for that one, so my apologies. We'll fix that up. But now, though. And now we are going to be settling into our game. And again, this is going to be a rematch. Elazer, if you remember, he was able to 2-base all in Goblin previously. As Elazer, he went for a very 2-base heavy build, going for an earlier Hydrogen, a later Lair, and a later 3rd base, and the 3rd was just for Larva. It was just for Larva. Elazer just sent it with pure Ling Hydra across the map, was able to catch Goblin with his pants down. Goblin, if you recall, did go for a Twilight Council charge base opener, which did fall on its face. Charge as an opener is very rough defensively. It's meant to be aggressive. It's meant to give you a timing. We saw that Goblin wasn't able to achieve anything with that charge timing in the end. Did get outscaled by the Ling Hydra, and it all just fell apart. It was a very unique build from Goblin. I do not expect the same build here. We do expect something a little bit different instead. So we'll see if we scout, if we confirm, how we open up. From the side of Goblin. We shall see. Again, day 1 of Crank Gatherers has a lot to live up to, because we saw a lot of mid to late game in day 1. It was crazy. But here in this series, at least, it's been hyper aggressive. A lot of 2-base all-ins, a lot of 2-base play. Very limited mid game, no late game, of course. It's been much more intense, much more aggressive, and oh, that is going to be a lair first. Okay, so fast lair here by Elazer. This is a faster lair compared to last time we saw him against Goblin. Bear that in mind. Because of the faster lair, are we thinking another lurker all in? Are we thinking 2-base lurker? No. It depends. This hydrogen, I think, is going to finish. I think, just like last time, we let the hydrogen finish, and then we just kill the sunken colony. We just kill the colony as we move out. The other option, of course, was Muta play, but the hydrogen does complete. Is revealed. Lair is finishing. And again, is the plan here to rush into lurkers. Oh, we're seeing the same build. Twilight Council into charge. Again, I'm not convinced by this, just because like this charge timing isn't going to be, it shouldn't be able to achieve anything, and we are going for the 2-base lurker all in. So 2-base lurker all in. This is looking a little more similar. Oh, true. There's a mineral patch here. We don't even have to kill the colony. Goblin does scout. Goblin, he sees a lair and he sees the research. Goblin should piece together that it is going to be lurkers. Meanwhile, Goblin reacts with a faster Templar Archives. Okay. Faster Archives will allow for faster Archon production. Markers A ran through the patch. Robo's on the way as well. I'm not so sure about this. Like, Archons, they can tank well, and I guess the goal is to have them tank and to maybe try to collapse on top of the lurkers. I don't see Storm being a factor here, because the all-in is coming. It's on the way. Okay, here come the High Templar. Storm has begun. Storm will impact the fights, but it's going to be like halfway through. Halfway through the fight. Here come the Lunkers. They're morphing in. Goblin doesn't see the army yet. Not completely. Checks the main, looking for a Spire, I would imagine. Just in case. And up. Now knows. Yeah, now sees, now knows. And it's go time. Unless are we playing defensively? I mean, Elazer has been scouted on like last time, so he might just believe that this wouldn't hit anywhere near as hard. No, he's pushing. Okay. He's moving out. A Storm will finish. Storm is done. We have 3 High Templar, 3 Storms. And it comes down to the engage. With 18 Lings on the way, obviously the goal would be, ideally, Elazer wants to bait the Storms early. He wants to bait them early. If he can bait them out, then he can pull this off. Lurkers they set up. There's our Storm. Nice shuffling. Nice shuffling from Elazer. Ooh, massive Storm. Yeah, Storm connects. Lings are going to move in. Ooh, through the storm. Oh god, I stand through the storms. Clem, is that you? Clem, calm down. Oh no. Yeah, Lings I pick in. So far, Goblin is holding. He's holding on Pappy. And remember, Elazer is still flooding. He's still flooding across the map. He's still rallying. Lurkers, they do siege. Lings, they bust into the mineral line. We cannot overextend though. Here come the storms. Oh, nice storms on the ramp. Lurkers, they reposition. Lurkers, they pull away. High Templar exposed. Oh, and he will force the Archons. Ay, that was every Templar. That was every High Templar. 0 Templar left, so 0 storms. Lurkers are moving in. Yeah, Goblin, he did overextend with his High Templar. But, does he have enough? The Archons, they finish. Lurkers are exposed. Goblin is holding. He's holding on Pappy. Yeah, chasing down the main army, chasing down Lurkers as well. And Goblin barely does hold on. Whew. And with that, Elazer, he's not forced to drone. He's being forced to drone up. We see 3 workers on the way. Now getting up to 8. There are still... Okay, there's 2 Templar. There's 2 Templar. There's going to be the NG overcharge as well. Morphing in more. Goblin should be fine. He should be fine. And again, I wasn't convinced there was going to be enough Storm and High Templar to defend, but Elazer, he took him a little bit longer to get across the map. Of course, Goblin was able to scout, able to react, able to confirm. And with that, Goblin looking in a much better position. Saturating his bases, building on up. Again, from here, the game will continue. Really, we're just waiting for the main move out here from Goblin, as he does have a lot of High Templar, a lot of Storms available. Just seeing a Elazer expanding here on the top side. Waiting for the Zealot run by. Splitting up his army. Getting into Drop Lords. Setting up. Goblin's now looking to push out. Behind this, we have our Stargate in the way. We're thinking about Skytos. We're thinking about it. Oh. No whole position. Okay. No whole position. Still try to engage. Goblin at the same time going for the drop. Going for the Prism Harass. Chopping into the main. Jumps into the main base. The last Elazer, he's ready. Defends against both Stellar Realm. His main army's moving in. Lurkers they respect. They respect it. They back off. That's a lot of sack defense. Oh my god. It's a lot of colonies. Oof. Nice Storm. Storm zones away. Zealot open here on the top side. It's an awkward position here for our lasers to defend. Hatchery getting very low. Do we kill the expansion? Hydras are now moving in, but the hatchery will fall. Oh, does have the prism. Base falls. Hatchery goes down. +1 air attack is on the way again. Goblin is getting ready for Sky Toss. Getting ready for the Sky Toss. And who's catching who here as Lurkers are coming from behind? The High Templar. Yeah, Templar exposed. Massive shot's going to be going off. We get a couple of good storms, but the Templar, they're all going to go down. Massive surround. Ay, ay, ay. Goblin. Yeah, Goblin, he wandered in between both armies, and he will lose everything. A massive loss for Goblin. Ay, ay, ay. Again, he was aware there were Hydras up here on the top side as well. Where are we going? And with that, Elazer snowballing out of control, he's pushing across the map. Goblin, he was building up a solid army. He was getting ready for Sky Toss as well, working towards the late game, but he will lose far too much. Oof. Not like this, baby. Not like this. Elazer came in. Now there are still a couple of defensive storms. So far, Elazer is spreading well. And pulls back, sieging up on the high grounds. Top left is isolated. But Elazer's moving in. He's moving in. Oh. Let's try to push forward. Setting up Berserkers. One Lurker going down. At the same time, 14 probe kills as there's no mining on the top side. 14 probes. The one Lurker back. No one Lurker. That's a lot of Lurkers. Yeah, he does get into the base. Getting to the Nexus. His third base is going to go down. Goblin cannot defend. He cannot defend, not like this. Again, not after the losses earlier. Just really rough movement out of Goblin to be posturing in the center and to go that far in. With that, attempts to go for run buys, attempts to go for counterattacks, attempts to take an ninja expansion as well. Get shut down. Breaking this natural position is going to be difficult for Elazer, but he doesn't need to. He can just contain. Just contain, build back up. 13 drones on the way. Hive is on the way as well. Ooh, lurkers are exposed. They're on their own. Nice storm. And that storm, lurkers, they come in from behind as well. High tempo once again. Oh my god. Force to morph into Archons. And they're being forced to morph in. Jesus, the storm. The value storms. Storms are good, but it's not going to be good enough. Yeah, not good enough here. Down to 3 immortals. Mothership has arrived. Will help support. Will help defend. And Goblin, he barely holds on with 3 immortals and 1 Tempest. He's holding on. But of course, there's no longevity in this game. There's no economy, no third base. Goblin stuck on 2. Rating on 1.5. With that laser popping off, again with these big 2 base all-ins, again, may not have worked here in game number 2, but was able to transition quite nicely. Transition out of said all-in into a 3rd base, into an economy. We saw the Goblin wasn't really able to move out across the map or really able to apply too much pressure. There was that one brief stint where he was on top of the ramp, but outside of that, didn't achieve too much more. And the laser's going for the Spire. I believe the Hive is on. Yep, Hive is done. Spire is on the way. From here, all we really need is some Scourge. Some Scourge to chase down the Mothership and the Tempest. Yo, we gotta see some Scourge in this game. Vamonos, baby, vamonos. There it is, 20. Oh my god. 22 Scourge. They're coming. And there shouldn't really be a way to stop them. I mean, we have some storms. Storms, I mean, they can... Maybe if a well-placed storm lands, we can kill the Scourge before they connect, but I don't think the DPS works out that way. Like, Scourge will still make it through the storm. And here they come. 22. We got 44? It's a little bit there's not that much in the sky, Pappy. There's only 3 Tempests. We don't need that many. Jesus. Okay. So Elazer's like, no, I will kill everything in the sky. Okay. Okay. It's gonna nuke the sky toss. Jesus. As they pick in. Ling's trying to bait out of the storms. Here comes the Scourge. Oh, first storm. Actually, based on the damage here, depending on the storms, can we defend? Scourge, do they clump up? We got a spread. Oh my god. Yeah, storms it protects. We're trying to zone away. We need the storms. Oh my god. Scourge, they cannot quite get in. Okay, now we split up the Scourge. And now we surround. Yeah, Scourge from every angle, and with that massive connections, the Sky just goes down. We have plenty of Scourge left over. We have Scourge remaining. Get the prism, Pappy. Get the prism. Get it. Ah. Let's go. And again, with that laser, I mean, he already broke the 3rd base earlier. Here, just cleaning up. Start stepping in, still have a couple of storms. Nice storm here on the ramp. I think there's like, what, 2 storms left. But the lunkers are coming. Because they move in. Pushing back in towards the bases. Massive storms on lurkers, but GG gets called. And the Elazer, he will claim the series for Team Liquid 3-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. Elazer, he will claim the series. And again, Goblin, he was able to survive against the 2-base all-in. I do appreciate his scouting, his reaction as well. He shut down the 2-base all-in. And honestly, I was expecting for us to enter the late game and enter Skytoss, but of course we saw that we couldn't quite get there as we did have Elazer catch the main army. It was Goblin that was being overly aggressive and overly ambitious. He was posturing in the center of the map, and he found himself wedged in between two armies as he was deep in enemy territory. He was deep in the bases, in between the bases of Elazer, and with that, Goblin got surrounded. That was game. That was game then and there when Goblin got surrounded in between the northern base and the center expansion, and that's when Elazer just ran with it, so went across the map, killed the 4th base, killed the 3rd, and it was game from there. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Elazer, congratulations to Team Liquid as they will claim the first series of the broadcast. Let's go. Let us go and catch up on the matches themselves. Make Corsairs Goblin. True, should just like leave the game and then go back in as Brood War Protoss. Kappa. As here we did have Blask. Blask was the only player to claim a game here against Clem, but again, Clem, he's a lot less experienced in StarCraft Evolution, so he's technically potentially one of the weaker links on his team for this event. Elazer and Cure are a lot more experienced. Same with Skillus as well. Skillus unfortunately didn't play today. Hopefully we can see some Nikita action throughout the course of the group stage. Hopefully. Meanwhile, again, we did see Elazer and Cure claim the rest of the games over Goblin, over uThermal as well. Bearing in mind this is a round robin group stage, so Team Red, White, and Blue, Team Freedom, they will be able to compete and play next time as well. I think that's the only match they had tonight. Yes. So next week they'll be back to face off against some of the other teams in this group. Speaking of, up next we're going to be jumping into Team Basilisk versus CRHB. We'll get there. For now though, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have our next best of 5. See you soon. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.